up, guys? It's Adam with LWP. I'm here with Anthony,
Yo,
my boy, and today we're going to be talking more so just like venting about some of the deeper topics in life. You know, those little golden nuggets that we feel like we have to offer, or even, you know, golden nuggets that we're hoping to uncover. And we just started talking about passion, and it's a really interesting topic no matter what field you're in, because it's always applicable, you know, no matter how you define it. But specifically what we were talking about was, you know, how exactly people come to find their passion. Now, we started off talking about the fitness industry and how, you know, we can understand how so many people find that to be a passion because you almost always see results as long as you're consistent, as opposed to things like business development or, you know, a lot of the more intensive passions that require, you know, not only more work but more time to actually see results. And then obviously that brought us back to Gary Vee, the man, the myth, the legend. But one of the biggest things that we were pointing out was where Gary's just like, you know, you gotta love the process. At the end of the day, no matter what your passion is, it's all about loving the process. Whether that's lifting or business development, you know, of course, when you lift or when you work out, the process is a lot more. I guess the best way to explain it is you feel it more, you know, as opposed to like...
And you see it.
Yeah, and you see it. As opposed to if you start a business, right? Let's say you invest like $1,000 into marketing, which that's a whole other topic. Well, let's say you do, right? And then you don't see any results from it. Chances are you don't have, you know, the logistics or systems in place at that point in order to actually analyze why you didn't get results. So you're just like, what the hell, man? You know, I did what Facebook, I did what all these other people are telling me to do, but I'm not seeing any results. And that's just because, you know, unlike the human body that's so predictable, business at the end of the day, I will say it is predictable, but there are a lot of other factors that go into it. A lot more education and experience, which makes me want to bring up another point, you know, this idea of just kind of jumping in. If you follow my YouTube channel, then you've probably seen my YouTube series called Do Something Stupid. And the whole idea behind that is essentially just to get out there and do it, you know. If you're passionate about it, if you're excited about it, go and do it, because you're not going to learn any other way. Like, you can read a book, you can get an education, but you really can't understand the value or exactly how to do things unless you do it, because everything is relative to you, especially in the business industry. You know, you're not going to understand how you collaborate with other people, how you collaborate with certain marketing structures just as an individual, because all of us interact with things differently, and just getting out there and doing it is really the biggest part, specifically relating to your passion, you know, and not only understanding it but developing it. What you got, Anthony?
Well, it's exactly what Adam say. Just to wrap up the ideas and thoughts behind it all. You won't exactly see it. You know, it's almost like in life you have a path, right? And you're almost unsure of where exactly you're gonna go. And it's a lot of you guys, you know, you have a love and you have a passion, and maybe you're somewhat dedicated, but maybe at the same time you're not crossing that line that you need to. You're not taking that extra jump, that step, you know. And it's, you know, even though you don't see the progress, even though it's not there, it's there. You just need to keep working, you need to keep hustling, and eventually you'll get there.
Yeah. Well, not only that too, right? Like, back to kind of what you were saying with not seeing the results. Right. I feel like that lack of sight, you know, isn't just a lack of results. I would say it's a lack of education and experience and lack of creativity, right? Something that Mr. Vaynerchuk talks about is how he loves being in times of tragedy, if you will, you know, where the economy is just in total crap, because it's at those points where you see the least results that you're also able to get innovative and find opportunities. So, you know, even if you're not seeing results, like, first off, that's a result in itself, you know, understanding that what you're doing wasn't working, so now we can reinvest elsewhere. And then secondly, you know, that's an opportunity to gain the education and understanding how you can turn that lack of results into something productive besides, you know, like I just talked about before. But yeah.
Accept your failures, keep pushing forward, strive for innovation, reach success.
Reach success, guys. Reach success. Hey, there's another topic. So, Anthony, what is success to you?
Success.
Like, how do you define that?
I think it's a very sensitive topic, but also I think it's more complicated in more than one ways. I think a lot of us have different opinions and we have different views on how we see success. Some of us view success as just being able to provide for our families. Some people see success to keep pushing forward beyond our limits. And other people see success as, it's almost like they're measuring what they have, whether they have this $400,000 home and this $100,000 Mercedes Benz, whatever it is, everyone has their own measure of success. To me, if I were to define success, in my opinion, it would just be to push beyond my limits and to keep moving forward. Even after dealing with the negatives, even after failure, to keep having somewhat of a positive strive and keep going. Because you reach one success, and then what happens when you reach that point?
Yeah.
You want to keep going. You want to have that positive stride. You don't want to stop there. Let's say you have a goal in mind, you reach it. That's your success. Do you stop there? No. Keep going.
Exactly.
That's success for me.
Exactly. I think it was Matthew McConaughey. All right. One thing that he talked about, I think it was when he won a Grammy. I could be wrong. I'm not really sure exactly what awards they give out in acting, but he gave a speech. Emmys, something like that. But he gave a speech to kind of commemorate not only his hard work, but the people who helped him get there. And one thing that he brought up was a story of when someone asked him who his hero was. At first he was like, I'm gonna need some time to think about that. And then a month later the guy comes back and asks, so, who's your hero? And his response is, well, it's me in 10 years. And so he lived life, and then 10 years later that same man came up to him and he said, hey, have you met your hero yet? And he looked at him and he said, well, no. The man asks him, well, why? And Matthew goes, because my hero is me in 10 years from now. And essentially what he was getting at, was that you should always keep moving forward. And if I was to define success personally, it's moving forward. I am successful as long as I'm moving forward, as long as I'm not stagnant and giving up not only on myself, but on my dreams and passions. Specifically what he was relating to with him in 10 years was having that vision as well. So I do feel like that's another big part of success is not only moving forward, but having a vision for yourself and who you want to be. With that, Anthony, what's your vision? Where's Anthony in 10 years?
Let me get back to you.
All right.
On that.
Yeah, I'll ask you in a month. All right. Yeah, so I guess just to finish up the video, I feel it's appropriate to kind of lead y'all off with a challenge. And that challenge is, first off, think about your vision. If you get an opportunity, write it down. Figure out what your values are, and then coordinate that with your everyday life. Don't just make it like, I really enjoy or appreciate or value happiness. Like, that's great, but pursue that every damn day of your life. If you're not pursuing happiness and that's your biggest value, then why does it even, exist in your paradigm? Just decide. Every day you wake up, look in the mirror, I'm going to be happy. Whether you make that little intrinsic step or you actually formulate a plan to developing that happiness, it could be achieving your fitness goals, as long as you take one step towards your fitness goal, that is happiness to you, or as long as you do something for someone else once a day, that's happiness for you, or as long as, you can see yourself as beautiful, that's happiness to you. Just define it and decide. Anyways, guys, this is Adam and Anthony. Have a good day and make it great.
Until you find your way back home.